Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Stacy if you're new here, and today's video is going to be another fitness journey video. Today I'm just going to talk about a couple of posture things that I noticed with my body and how I plan to improve those areas and how it actually is affecting my training. So yeah, I originally was going to have this video be a few runs while I was camping, but we didn't go camping. So I just spent the time relaxing and I did not work out. So today's Monday and today's a brand new day, and I'll be starting the next week of workouts fitness journey video literally at the end of filming this. So before we get started, I want to introduce myself. My name is Stacy. I'm a NASM certified personal trainer and a nutrition coach. I don't do a whole lot with those certifications for YouTube or any of my content. Eventually I want to do follow along videos, but for right now I do 3 videos a week. A travel video, whether it be about Disney, cruises, camping, hiking, outdoorsy stuff, that kind of thing. And then a fitness journey video and a clean with me video every single week. So 3 total. And I am also a Dream Vacations travel advisor, which means I can help you plan your dream vacation, whether it be a cruise, a Disney parks vacation, or a group trip overseas. And all of my information will be linked down below. The first things I want to talk about are the changes to my schedule. When I first started, this is going to be week 3 of my current 8-week block. And when I first started, I was trying to work out every single day, 7 days a week, not giving myself much flexibility for rest days as my body needs it. And I'm a routine person, so sticking to specific days is kind of what I need to do, because if I give myself too much flexibility, then I end up spilling over into the following week too much. And as you saw probably in the last 2 videos, because technically since day 1 of this training block was 3 weeks ago, and I've only got 2 videos to show for it because those 2 videos kind of went through those 3 weeks. And so, yeah, I am changing it so that I am doing my strength training workouts and cardio Monday through Friday, giving my weekends as a flex to hike, camp, rest, whatever it may be, especially going into the summer, because I'd like to do a lot more hiking this summer compared to last year. I didn't do any hiking, and we live pretty close to hiking, amazing views and trails in the Rocky Mountains. So I want to take advantage of that this summer. So with my training schedule, I want to give myself the opportunity to do that. And yeah, I adjusted kind of the days I'm working out also. So every single strength training session is going to have some type of bench, squat, and deadlift. And I also added in more glute workouts. So my main lift will be the first exercise. So for example, if it's a bench day, the deadlift or hamstring, not just deadlifts. I'm not doing deadlifts every day. So it's going to be some type of hamstring focused or deadlift kind of thing. So if it's a bench day, for example, that's going to be my main focus. All of my most of my energy is going to go towards that in terms of my strength training. And then I'm going to have the deadlift / hamstring and squat variations be a lot less intense than the days that I'm focusing on squat and deadlift. And then the other exercises will be definitely more upper body. So on those days specifically are going to be days that I run, and then days that I'm focusing on lower body. So a squat focused or deadlift focused day, I will be just walking on the treadmill after my workout. And then 1 day a week, I'm doing a run, which I've been loving the long run days. So I definitely wanted to keep a long run. So Monday and Tuesday are strength training. So Monday, I believe, let me just pull it up actually. Monday is focusing on bench. with goblet squats, RDLs, and then bench accessories. So upper body from there, and then a run. And then Tuesday is a squat focused day with a bench. I'm doing hip thrusts and RDLs, dumbbell RDLs that day as well. And that day is just cardio because I'm doing a lot more leg focused workouts throughout that day. And then Wednesday is my long run, so no strength training at all. And then Thursday is deadlifts with a tempo squat and then a dumbbell bench, and then deadlift supporting accessory workouts, so hamstring and glutes, and then a 30-minute walk after that. And then Friday is a bench focus day with goblet squats, RDLs, dumbbell RDLs, and then bench accessories, so upper body movements, and then a run. And all of my runs are through the Run app. And the long run is, so far I've seen most of them are like 3 to 4 miles. And then the other 2 runs throughout the week are interval runs of sorts. So that I'm looking forward to as well, because those runs have been a lot of fun, even if I am just running on the treadmill. And then for every single workout, I'm going to start with mobility, abs, and some stretching, because I've noticed that there are a couple of postural things that my body has gotten really used to in terms of being sedentary. So sitting and editing, sitting and watching TV, or in my case, I oftentimes sit and crochet while watching YouTube, and then sitting and driving because I drive a lot for work. So my body has a lot of weak points. And so I want to work on improving those weak points in my posture before I really start stacking on a ton of weight, because eventually I do want to continually progress in weight and just work on lifting heavy. But right now, with my current posture and all of that, I don't think that my body can handle adding on a ton of weight. Not only do I need to build that muscle strength, but also my body just needs to be taught, I guess, how to move better so I don't injure myself, because my movement patterns are incorrect because my posture is not good. I will go through my warm up later on in the video, a little bit more detailed. Okay, and then with my schedule, I realized I do need to have time built into my workout training schedule to be able to get those full-on rest days during the weekends if I need to. Otherwise, I just get myself burnt out. I'm very fortunate to have my afternoons during the week completely free, so I can work out and do these longer length workouts and take my time, especially in my home gym. So I'm going to take full advantage of that going forward. And even if you are in the middle of a training block, don't be intimidated or scared to make changes, because if you are doing things that don't feel like it's working, then make those changes. However, you have to also realize that training is going to be monotonous. It's going to be repetitive. It's going to be a lot of the same routine. But if something like changing out what days you're doing what exercise works better for you, and maybe you are capable of saying, I'm working out 4 strength training, 1 cardio, and you fit it in wherever during the week, and you are able to stick to that for a 7-day period and have your rest days spread out throughout whatever different days during the weeks, then absolutely do it that way. So for me, that doesn't work. And I, like I said, want to do more hiking and stuff on the weekends, outdoorsy things. So I just want to show you a couple of things that I noticed with my posture. And I'm going to preface this with, this is not an invitation to discuss my body. because that's weird. Discussing people's bodies is just weird, period. So what I am going to talk about is the posture and how I'm going to improve it and what exercises I'm going to be doing that will aid in improving it. Okay, so like you can see from the front, it looks not too bad, right? But then when I go to the side, and this is me fixing it. So I've been dealing with an anterior pelvic tilt, which means that my pelvis basically tilts like this. So the fronts of my like hip bones end up pointing down, and I have more of an arch in my low back. And then if I am fully relaxed, I tend to round my shoulders more, and my core is completely inactive. My low back has that arch, and I'm completely slouched, which then makes my stomach stick out more than actually is there. So I had a couple of clean with me videos that I just posted that showed that a lot, which then sparked, oh, my posture is a lot worse than I thought it was. So hold on, I'm thinking about it. So I know how to correct it just standing here, but eventually, like, my body does that and I relax, and like all of this sticks out more. So if I actually stand up and then tuck my tailbone down and just remember that kind of like the hip bones need to be parallel, if you will, almost with the floor, and kind of pointing forward like headlights, not down. And then another thing I noticed is even with the anterior pelvic tilt, I also stand a little more forward, which then contributes to a more emphasis of my stomach area, which is not really what anyone wants to look like. So knowing those things, the areas that need to be strengthened for addressing the anterior pelvic tilt is more hamstring and glute strength, as well as low back and core. And I already knew that those were weak areas, so I've been working on doing those things, but I just added a couple more exercises into my mobility during the beginning of every single workout. So like something that'll hit my adductor. I think the outer is adductor or abductor, both of them. I don't remember which is which. So the muscle that controls an outward movement, or the muscle that controls an inward movement. So those are going to help significantly with adjusting the anterior pelvic tilt. And then with that, I have also noticed that when I am sitting, my hips, or hip rotation literally rotates out. So I'll sit here in a minute and I'll show you what I mean by that. So all of those things, hamstring, abductor, adductor, glute strength, low back, core, will definitely help improve my posture with all of that. And I've also noticed that at night, mostly because I'm aware that I have the external rotation to my hips, that when I'm trying to actively correct it throughout the day and like continuously rotate my leg inward, my entire backside of my leg is so sore, and then it becomes hard to fall asleep because that leg is so sore. Because this one's the worst about it, probably from driving, because of constantly moving your foot from the gas to the brake. And then as far as the rounded shoulders, I need to work on some thoracic, so it's like the upper back strength. So core, again, of course, core is going to be the biggest thing that's going to help fix all of those postural problems that I'm having. And then upper body strength. So I added in some light mobility upper body movements as well. And then, of course, throughout the day, constantly remind myself to tuck my tailbone under, stand up tall, get my shoulders away from my ears, and engage my core so that I'm not constantly kind of in this weird rounded forward position. Okay, this is a really weird angle, but a couple of things. When I am sitting, I can feel, and I don't know how to fix it, which I will have to, it'll just probably come with time with strengthening all of the areas that need to be strengthened, but I can feel that my pelvis is tilted. So that is what it is. However, I am working really hard to keep my legs from just flailing out. So that tells me I have weak adductor and abductor. I may have those backwards, but the muscles that control these movements. And hamstrings. So I am constantly trying to remind myself to bring my feet back together, but obviously that's exaggerated, but keep it neutral, not too far in and whatever. And so that puts a lot of pressure on my leg because I actually sit a lot in my computer chair crisscross or with one leg, and I often have my legs bent a lot while I am sitting. So that's definitely contributing to all of that. I'm gonna do what I can to help improve those areas of my legs to improve my posture, because I know that having poor posture just isn't sustainable for longevity and all of that. So I'm gonna get into my mobility